So one thing I want to just let you be aware of is what I call the triangle of terror, but it actually is known as the drama triangle by Dr. Karpman. And the drama triangle basically is something that your clients can get trapped in if you spend too much time inside their story. So something to keep in mind as we're working with people is that we don't want to keep people inside their story for too long. So if we have a look at this drama triangle, and so this was invented by a gentleman called Dr. Karpman, where he put together a concept where he saw the polarity of energy, negative and positive, and how it affected the relationship between individuals and the way in which we react and connect with people. The drama triangle is used a lot to create TV programs so that you're trapped in the drama and you can watch what's going on. But basically there are three core positions on the drama triangle. There is the persecutor, the rescuer, and the victim. And so basically what was discovered was that people can get stuck in this drama where you get persecuted and you become a victim, then someone comes along and rescues you, but because you have this identity locked in a play, you find a reason to become a victim again. So the reason I call it the triangle of terror is this, because a lot of coaches out there inadvertently will keep their clients trapped as a victim to justify the meaning and the relevance of their fee. Does that make sense? We don't do it consciously, but the funny thing about the cells in your body, no living organism will ever give up its reason for existence. Now, if my reason for existence is your problems, then I have to make sure you've got problems. Otherwise, my reason for existence is over. Does that make sense? Now, if you're earning a fee for coaching, which you're all probably going to do at some point, that fee pays your rent. It sends your kids to school. It allows you to go on holidays. So the money you make from coaching takes care of your reason for existence, takes care of your lifestyle, your survival needs, and so on. Are you with me so far? So deep, deep down in the recesses of our mind, there is a little thing that says, if you fix everything, then I don't get paid. Do you see the problem? Now, we don't think about it consciously. People aren't overtly evil about this process. But what I've seen is when someone comes up and says, Ben, I've been working on my depression for 25 years, in my mind I go, no, you haven't. You've been stuck in here for 25 years. You've been trapped in this inadvertently. So a lot of therapists out there have these incredibly long relationships with clients who continue to work on the exact same issue for years and years and years. As a results coach, which is what you'll be certified in when you leave this program, my advice is if you are still working on the same problem after a couple of months, then you better start changing techniques or send them to another coach. So for me, I want to make sure that my clients are continually progressing in everything they're doing. I don't like to work on the same thing twice, but when I do work on it the first time, I want to make sure that it's fixed properly. And this really came to me and hit hard when I was working with a lady, a client of mine, Kerry. And she rang me up one day, and she said, and I've been coaching for about a year and a half. She said, Ben, the strangest thing happened last week. I said, what? She goes, well, you know how we have these fortnightly phone calls booked? I said, yeah. She goes, well, the strangest thing happened. Last week I realized I had nothing to talk to you about today. And I said, okay, so then what happened? She said, well, I went and gave myself a problem. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I thought, far out, like, okay, well, run me through the process. And she explained, I gave myself this problem because this coaching call is going to cost me money today. And I needed to get the value out of it. And I can't just get on the phone call and say, I got no problem, because now I'm spending money for nothing. And she explained it to me. I said, Kerry, we need to take a break straight away. So we took a 3-month break where there was no coaching whatsoever, because I realized that there is a problem. There is a relationship forming that we don't want to be a part of. So what she'd done is she had been rescued, then there was nothing left to rescue, so she then found a reason to become a victim again. Are you with me so far? So when you're working with clients, they can develop addictions to the feeling of being rescued or the feeling of being persecuted. And you need to be aware that that is occurring. So if someone's talking about their problem for 5 hours, trust me, they're just practicing being a victim. That's all they're getting better at. Does that make sense? And your job as a coach is to interrupt that. You don't want better victims. You want empowered human beings living a great life. You don't want them anywhere on this. As a coach, your job is not to rescue anybody. Your job is to empower people, make people resourceful. Your job as a coach is not to persecute anybody. Your job is to persist with them and get them to where they want to go. Your job as a coach is not to form victims, but to help people be vulnerable in the process of coaching to get the result. Does this make sense? So what I want you to just make sure of during this course is that you are not reinforcing any form of victim behavior by constantly trying to rescue people or persecuting them, saying, no, that's not the problem. Sure, you want to do deeper in that? No, tell me there's a real problem underneath that. None of that stuff goes on in this room, right? Because we're here to get people empowered as rapidly as possible. And if you trap someone in here, you develop this craving, this addiction, where they just want to continue to live out that identity. And I've seen coaches that rescue you right up until the last second, and then they just flip and they just start persecuting you. And they bring all your problems back up. It's the most bizarre thing. They don't even know they're doing it. But realize they can't give up their reason for existence. And if I don't have a lot of clients on my books and you're about to leave, do you see that there's a real actual problem there?